Coach Remy Kwamsinje. She's not here.
Yeah, so she met up. Okay, she called us, each person. She's like, okay, tell me about your goals. So that means even when you had the Friday sessions, when you go back home, you're not reluctant. Like, you have to wait for the next Friday. So at least she makes sure Wednesday or Tuesday, she talks to each one of you and she's like, what are you going to do?
So accountability was on top of your list.
Yes, it's the most, okay, what pushed
that, what kept you on a straight line?
Yes.
Anything else?
I had to keep coming here.
Okay.
To keep pushing myself.
Wow.
It was a bit hard, but I was like, I have to keep going. Even when I was working, I reached a time when I was like, when I delayed at work, I felt so bad because I knew I was missing out on something.
So the community, there is power in community. There is power in coming to a place where there are like-minded people, growth-minded people, and everyone is trying to better themselves. Awesome. Anything else you'd want to share with us, or that's it for now?
That's it for now.
Wow, a round of applause, Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Accountability, having someone to remind you, having someone to ask you how far, what have you done about this, and then the power of community. That is amazing, amazing, amazing. Who else wants to share with us? Anyone? But we have to review, ladies and gentlemen. Even if I have to pick you out myself, I will do that. Yes, my dear.
Thank you. I feel like for me, mine are very little.
It's okay.
But
let me tell you, success is progress. For as long as you've put one foot in front, that's what we want to hear.
Okay, Janet is my name. And when we started, I said I gave myself the 6 months to have at least 2 speaking engagements.
Okay.
Now, I volunteered to do the roundtables online. And for me, it counts as one of them.
It does.
It was
definitely
very scary. But last week, we finally finished our week, and it went well.
Wow,
then,
and it did well.
Yes. Then the other thing is, I'd already started on my weight loss journey, but when we were here, I think it was last August, if I'm not mistaken.
Did you take your kilos?
Yes.
How much did you weigh?
For me, my journey started in May, so I don't know if you went from May or
from May
when.
And then to July.
Okay,
and then
from May, I did, I think, 3 months, and I lost 8 kilos.
Okay.
From when we spoke, I think that's a month. It's just been 2 kilos, but it's progress because even today, my border guy said, so yeah, what kept me going, especially for the weight, was the first months were a bit hard because I wasn't really seeing, but because I knew that I needed to change after my first child, I put on a lot of weight. I got pregnant for my second child.
You still had the weight.
And I still had the weight, so I just added. So for me, that was one of the things that made me focused.
Okay.
So that I need to do better for myself. For the speaking engagement, I think it was for just pushing me, really. I am... my main accountability partner is Coach Fifi.
Wow.
And it was for just pushing me. Yes. And I thank God that was my group, because I almost jumped out, but they pushed me. So thank you so much.
Wow. So mentors and accountability groups, you have full authority to push. Hey, when someone disappears, call them. When they don't pick, call them again. If they don't answer, look for them. But when they come for hold my hand, but ask them how far. Yeah, that's beautiful. Someone else that wants to tell us how far? We're not setting these goals for the sake of setting. We are setting these goals to achieve them. And it's going to be at different paces. Do not blame yourself and beat yourself up if you lose track in the middle, but we want to actually achieve them. That's the drive. Yes, my dear.
Yes, good evening. I'm Helen. Some of the goals that I set, I missed that session of the planning, whatever, but I set a goal one for losing my tummy. I'm not so fat, but due to childbirth, you have the tummy. So I determined to work on it, the planks, a bit in the morning. So that's why I made the habit. When the kids go to school at 6:30, 30 minutes are for exercise before I bathe and then come to town. And then...
Hey, commitment.
Yes. And then another was for waking up at 5:30. So I made that. And whether Monday or Sunday, I'm up at 5:30. Yes.
Wow.
And I'm at office at 8:30 because normally we used to come at 9:30 here at Nasa Road because work begins late.
Yeah.
But nowadays, my clients know I'm there at 8:30.
Wow.
Prompt, yes.
Wow, that's amazing. So what made you, what kept you going?
What kept me going is recently I became a single mother.
Okay.
So you have to stand. So either way, whether you want it or not,
You had to push.
you have to push because there is no room for
reluctance.
Your children look at you because you have to go back home.
Take care of them.
And you take care of them. You have to have their time and you have to have time for work. Yes.
Wow.
So
She's making it and making it big, right? By the time you set habits and follow them through, the other stories are for different days. But you are a winner and you are going to conquer.
Yes.
And your children are going to be fine. And you're going to be a rich woman. Not just rich, but a wealthy woman.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So that kept her going. That, in her situation, she knew I have to get out of my comfort zone. I'm not depending on anyone. I'm depending on myself. So that was her motivation.
Yes.
Thank you.
Then one more, I started putting up statuses on WhatsApp for the baking business. I do baking, but I'm really a bit of a shy person. I don't take photos. I don't do what. So when they told us you have to put your business out there, it was a bit scary. Putting and people are watching, people are commenting. So you put it out there. And surprisingly, every time you post, yes, someone calls you. So every week, I'm having a cake.
Wow.
And because initially, it's I think only people around me who knew. But now people ask you, you put on Facebook, I opened the pages. Though
You have a name?
Yes.
You have a
Streets.
logo?
I'm still working on them.
Okay.
Yes. But I opened the page. Now, the struggle is in what posting. Because I'm not really...
Good at posting.
I have the phone, but I'm really a passive person. So I have to learn that other side. So that's
Who
what
is
I'm
a content
working on.
creation expert here? Content creation expert.
Okay.
Content creation experts. Hey! Wow. Ivan.
Thank you.
You see that? Get her contact. Give her your page credentials. Let her post every day. And even tell you, akubanja no kubanja, where is the logo? Where is the name? Where is the, lero tegekayo kachi, independence, kola ya Ugandan flag. Hey, wow, that's beautiful. So now you have, and then the content creating team, I want us to actually formulate a group led by Ivan. He's an expert indeed. We have an expert. We need, how many business people here are stuck with content creation? You will see that it's nearly. So you guys have freebies to give, and number two, you have businesses to make. You have money to make. Eh? So network. Eh? We will meet. Did you see their hands, Ivan? Content. No, those are businesses in need. Now the experts, just the experts that, we have three. So we have an association. Yes. Association Ewedde. We will give it a name and a logo. And then you will pay consultancy.
Lastly, I was happy, or I'm happy, that many people have noticed the growth in me.
Wow.
The most recent person was my husband. He told me, Helen, you have grown. And I'm like, okay. He told me, I'm like, okay.
So your ex-husband or your husband?
Because we were traditionally married.
Yes.
So
they noticed your growth.
he noticed. He
told you.
Yes, when we talk, he's like, but you've grown.
And what was your response?
I'm like, I'm glad you can notice that, because he knows I come here. He knows.
Okay.
Because it's always on my status on Friday. It says date day.
Wow.
Evening.
This
yes.
is beautiful.
So many people know. So when he mentioned it, I was glad. I'm like, okay, if he can notice, then it's
so
good.
many people are noticing.
Many people have noticed it.
Wow.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you. A round of applause. Woo! That's powerful, right? If you're here and you're not growing, never mention that you know Bahati. Jokes aside, who else wants to take us through their personal? I know there are so many of us that have made strides, okay? But we're doing this just to reaffirm ourselves that we are on the right course. This is the first week of October, the first week of the last quarter of the month. Anything is possible. Your dreams are still valid, and everything you want to achieve is achievable for as long as it's realistic and you can get into it, okay? So who else wants to give us? Oh, I am 5 kilos down. When we were, the last time we were here, Coach Fifi, I think I was 105. Yeah, I am 100 kilos now. 5 kilos down. And still going on. I feel lighter. I feel better. Actually, today I was going to put on a dress. You know, I told you my story that I've avoided dresses ever since I gave birth because I had put on a lot of weight. So today I opened my suitcase full of so nice dresses. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to start putting on dresses. So it's going to be dress upon a dress. Muninde. So I feel nice. It feels good to hit your targets. Right? Anyone else that wants to give us? Please tell us.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, good evening.
My name is Mutoni Claudine, and specifically, I wanted to work upon my finances. I usually had excuses with saving, like maybe the money is not enough, I have a lot of things to work upon. So when I was reading the book, Nice Girls Don't Get Rich, first of all, I had to work upon my attitude.
Yeah.
So I started demanding, like, you know what, I deserve this, so if you can't give me this, I can't work. However much I may be, even when I don't have a job, I just mention, if you can't offer me this, I'm out of here. Because I'm trying to tell myself, don't just be nice. Because, I mean, guys are getting the more money for the same work we do. So that was one. Then, as I was reading the book, it has 50-30-20 rule. So she explains that any money you get, 50% of it is for your essentials, 30% is for your wants, then 20% is for saving. Being that I'm Christian and I have to remove 10% first for tithe, I was like, okay, so I'm left with 50-20-20 rule. So with 20-20, the 20 of saving, 10 of it, I opened an account with Equity where I can't withdraw the money for future use. Then that 10%, it is another saving for emergencies. Like, in case I'm sick, at least,
you have
even
a
if I'm not
position.
working, I can take care of myself for some time. So what I do every Friday, as I come here, on the first floor. There is banking things,
Yes.
agents.
Yes.
I think even the guy has started realizing me, like he knows
Every
every
Friday you go
before
and
I
save.
come here, I'm going to first go there and deposit. I was like, this is easier.
Wow.
When I sit here and I have not put something there, I'm like, so
What
what's
happened?
up? Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
Yeah.
And to me,
Wow.
it's a very big achievement.
That is beautiful. That is huge. When it comes to money, we easily procrastinate. Ogamba, "Aka neeyagaleko leero." Neweeyagalako akaako olumu. Not knowing that there is a tomorrow, and then you have dreams, and then you have to finance and fund your dreams, reinvest and do all those things. So when it comes to money, if you can establish a habit and go by it, then you have actually nailed it. So that is it's not small. It's a huge, huge achievement. By the time the year comes to an end and another year goes, it's something that is very huge. Ever since we started the Hold My Hand, I can for sure say my finances have grown. Because I said, Hold My Hand has to finance itself. It has to. I'm not going to get money out of my pocket and finance Hold My Hand. So I had to actually think outside the box and make sure that Hold My Hand finances itself. Okay? And we are planning to grow. We are even looking for a bigger venue. Where people from Hold My Hand, we gather like maybe 1,000 of us, and people go through the different stalls. Whether you're from whichever company or whichever sector, whichever industry, you can be able to display your goods and people can know exactly what you do. I think it will do us good. So we are growing. Let's be the pioneers. How many of us are proud to call themselves pioneers of Hold My Hand? I want you to grow beyond your wildest dreams, okay? To grow beyond your wildest dreams. Anyone else giving us feedback about their growth?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jessica, Coach Jessica. So sometime, I think my journey started early this year. Of course, after COVID, there was a lot, that changed financially on my side. So prior to COVID, I was doing my banking job and also in 2-to-1 and travel business. So that kind of collapsed. And I had also a business where I dealt in produce. So after COVID, I felt I needed to make some changes and to get back to a better financial position. So I started by slashing my costs. I closed the business, the produce business, because the prices were so volatile and I wasn't making money. So I made a decision to close that. Once I closed that, of course, the money I was spending on rent, on salaries, that came back to my pocket. The other thing I did was to increase on my saving, on my pension. So at first I was doing a voluntary saving of about 5%. So I decided to up it up to 10%. The reason I did that was because when you do a saving, the company adds for you. So in a pot where I used to save like 700, I'm now saving like 1 point something. So out of those baby steps that I took into this year, beginning of this year, I was able to have money to invest in land. I was able to attend to my daughter's prom, which was so costly, but I had to do it for her.
Prom, move.
So I was able to do that, and she was happy, And
She put on like a princess.
oh yeah, she was so happy about everything,
Wow.
and I was happy.
Fairy tales.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, I'm looking at other avenues of investment, but all I can say is starting is hard, But once you make the decision, be consistent about the steps you're supposed to take.
Okay.
You'll actually get there. Thank
Be
you.
consistent about the steps that you have to take. So it registers that you are able to do it. And so you tackle another thing, and then you feel like, I'm making headway. And then you do another thing, and sometimes you even learn to multitask. So I want to find out, for those of us that say, I am stuck somewhere, and I think I need to be able to push out of that position to get to a better position. This is a judgment-free place. I know that we are human beings. We get stuck in our minds. We get stuck with our limiting beliefs. We get stuck because of our past. We get stuck because of our relationships, because of so many things. So if you're saying that I'm a bit stuck somewhere and I would love to be pushed out of it, you're the one I want to see right now. Thank you. Should we start with you? Can you state?
Good evening, everyone.
Yes, good evening.
I'm called Becky Chisache. It's actually my first time to come here.
Oh, so nice to have you.
So, Shan, I appreciate you for inviting me. Basically, I started a business 2 months back.
Okay.
It's an interior designing business. I'm passionate about it. However, where I feel stuck is I need to be in position to project how the interior designing business will be like in about 10 years.
Okay.
How the market would be like. So that I start backtracking my strategies so that when I'm doing it, I am moving into how that future will look like.
Okay.
So I really feel like I'm stuck. I need to know how I can be able to project how that market will look like. Then I get strategies to work towards
So
that.
currently, you are already practicing.
Yes, I am.
Okay. You have customers.
Yes, I do.
You have done some houses and interior
Yes,
decor
yes,
and,
yes.
and all that.
Yeah.
You know your market, you know where to get your things.
Yes.
All you want is to project into the future.
Yes.
So your anxiety is, what does the future hold for me, and how can I be able to thrive in that
Because
future?
it's dynamic and
Yes.
it's changing. That's a fact.
Okay.
So I need to be able to know how that 10 years market would look like so that I'm work towards it. So I'm stuck in that place like I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to respond to her very quickly. When you are projecting into the future, and this is something that, by the way, happens to a certain kind of people. There are some of us who never think about the future. Wanji, tutomera ntomeri. And then there are those of us that are wired to worry about the future. Okay? Now, when you worry about the future, the worry and the fear of uncertainty keeps you stuck. So instead of asking yourself the right questions, you tend to just stand in one place, and then you're like, I am lost, I don't know where to go from here. And yet where you are already flourishing. So this is what I would say. Starting with where you are, I want you to ask yourself, am I maximizing my current position? Am I leaving money on the table, or am I belittling myself and saying I am a small interior decor company and there are bigger decor companies, and maybe those bigger ones can get bigger jobs and me, I'm still getting small jobs, and because that is now a belief system. Okay? So am I maximizing where I am? Before you seek to know the future, are you getting all the money that you're supposed to get in the industry right now? Okay? Because then that is going to expand your attention. Okay? Who is getting what? What companies in Uganda are doing the same thing? Who in Uganda is doing the same thing that I am doing? What are they posting on their social media? Who are they decorating for? Where did they get those connections from? Can I get into the same market? Because there are those that are actually even in the Blue Lagoons, in the decor company. The Blue Lagoons are the high-end markets. They are no longer serving the mass market. Even when you see the decorating companies, eye candy, coconut and stuff like that, most of them, you will go to them and they will tell you 60 millions, we are not bargaining for a function. And yet there is someone here who is saying, you get it. So we are at different levels. So ask yourself, the people that are ahead of you, or the people that seem bigger than you, what are they doing different? Okay? If you need to stalk them, stalk them. If you need to meet them, meet them. And make sure that you know that I am able to maximize, I have earned all the money that I need to earn right now in order for me to worry about my next step. Number 2, the same people, just like I said, there's a time I said, learn about your industry, educate, make it a point to subscribe to anything that is related to your industry. Let me tell you, there are so many high-end people or public figures that I don't follow. And I'm sorry to say, if you're not in my industry and if you're not adding value to me, you're not going to be on my timeline. My timeline is too expensive and too important. I have less time for my timeline. Again, I live kwara on my timeline. I'm not going to leave my kwara on my timeline. I am actually going to be very intentional. Whenever, even if it's on Instagram, I will follow you if I like your content. If I like your content further or I like what you do, I will go to the bell and choose what I want to see. So I will streamline. If I want to see your reels, I will choose reels. If I want to see your posts, I will choose your posts. If I want none, I will not tap the bell. You get it? Like we have so much control right now. So ask yourself, who in this industry is actually forward thinking and leading? This industry is in the US. This industry is in China. This industry is in, everywhere, Japan. So that means we could be steps back or behind from the US. If you see how people in the US decorate, that is not how we decorate here. It's totally different. But guess what? That's what we are headed. Because there are so many of us who are elites who are looking at Pinterest as our guidelines for decoration. So Pinterest is your friend. Because whoever wants something flamboyant and different is looking at Pinterest. Or they are looking at people on Instagram who are doing that kind of job. So make sure that you have ears on the ground, not just locally but globally, to see where the trends are going. And then I want you to be able to trust your creativity. By the time you are in the decorating arena, you are creative. There is no one, my friend, or asobola okupanga emiti negifuuka ekimuli. Some of us otuwa ebimuli ne tubipanga n'otunula eri. So trust your intuition, okay, that you can actually create something out of nothing. There are people I have seen for sure, that they did not have an idea about what they were doing. But they just set a new trend. All of a sudden. Olowooza bino ebintu ebyokukyala nti bawandikeko amanya ga goldi n'ebyachi. Someone just thought about it. And then it became a trend. Echa balloons okuzisiba nga luli twasibanga balloon eya yellow, eya pink, eya grey, eya green, eyachi. But these days you'll find someone having 50 shades of light blue. 50 shades of light blue as their decoration. That means someone sat down and said, and that is where it comes back to the care of people that you're delivering for. And guess what? We know what we want. So work with your customers. When your customer tells you something, think about it. In the industry, this is how it's done. Mugambe mama, oyagala kitunulewa? Kubanga it's possible you're learning a new idea there and then that you're going to apply in 10 other places. Okay? So listen actively, connect with your clients, and seek to think and give them, surprise them. Just like public speakers, never go to a place nga togenzeyo na kapya. As in ojo tuletere ate akapya tekitegeeza nti tetukiwulirangako, but bring it in another dimension. Okay? So even you, when you create something in your mind and one appreciates it, just know another one can appreciate it. Okay? So trust your intuition. Log in and subscribe to people that are leading in your industry and people that you genuinely love the kind of work that they do. That you would rather watch their Instagram for the rest of the day. I'm not saying be on Instagram all your day, but make sure that you have your eyes on the ground. I can't say more than that, but please.